Hey everybody, CW here, Card Wolf, because I'm always on the hunt for great cards. And as you can see, we're going to be hunting through some 1990 Topps baseball to see if we can find the no-name Frank Thomas. And these are rack packs. So I'm told that rack packs are where it's at for this. It's a box that was in the stuff that I brought back from the East Coast about not quite a year ago. And when I unearthed this, I got to put it in the card closet and thought, well, I'll get into that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then it got buried under some other stuff. And then I just unearthed it a couple of weeks ago and thought, I need to keep that out because I actually want to get into that. See if we can find that no-name Frank Thomas. According to the people who know these things, or people that I've spoken to about this over the years, the rack packs and the jumbo packs are where it's at if you have any hope of getting a no-name Frank Thomas. The wax packs seem a little unlikely, and the vendor boxes also seem unlikely. But this, this is the stuff. So we'll pull a bunch of rack packs out of here and see how we do today. I don't know how many I'm going to open. I'm just going to keep opening them until I decide I don't want to anymore. How are you guys doing? I hope you're having a good week. It is Thursday as I am doing this rip, and I've got to start the broadcast again, like I did yesterday, with some important. It's kind of an important announcement. It's something that I have just learned. It was kind of leaked to me by a source, and I want to preserve their anonymity, but I also want to make sure that the news gets out there that the Saskatchewan Roughriders have no interest in Lamar Jackson. In case anybody heard any differently, I'm very confident in my source. I know several people in Canada, as you guys know, and they came through for me with this information. So it's looking pretty bleak for Lamar Jackson. Nobody seems interested in the guy, and it looks like it's going to stay that way. What can I tell you? On the other hand, Aaron Rodgers, it looks more and more likely that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet. And when you're a Jet, you're a Jet. That's what I've heard anyway. And the Packers are eager, according to internal sources, to field a team led by Jordan Love this season. So we'll see how that develops in the next couple of days. But from what I'm hearing, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet soon. All right, let's get into these. I wanted to do this today because I have not opened baseball on the channel this week, and I thought, let's do some baseball. So I'm just going to pull a bunch of these out, and we'll just kind of see how we go. I'm not going to get too wild and crazy with these, but let's put this to the side. This is a huge box. I mean, look at this giant size box here. It does not have cards printed on the put that over there. It does not have cards printed on the bottom. Some of the 90s and 80s Topps boxes, they printed cards on the bottom. I wish they would have done that with those, because they would have had a lot more real estate, because the rack pack boxes are so much bigger. So what do we have here? What did I get? 2, 4, 6. I got 6 rack packs. We'll start with that and see how we do. And a lot of people are doing these hunt for the no-name Frank Thomas thing, and so I know that some of you are maybe a little bit tired of seeing 1990 Topps open. So I may just stick to these packs today and just kind of go with that and see how we do. I'm just going to take these all out of their cells rather than and just put them in one stack rather than try to go crazy. Maybe I'll do 2 packs at a time, and I'll speed things up a little bit when I'm going through there. And of course, any Hall of Famers or cards of players that I particularly like, I will put those aside in the Wolfware, as I always do. And we'll see what we get out of here. It should be a lot of fun. 1990 Topps is a good set, and even if I don't get the no-name Frank Thomas, there will be lots of cards that I get out of here that I know I'm going to be happy with. All right, so there we go. I've completely mauled those first couple of rack packs there. So let's see. All right, here we go. So we got the cool All-Star insert card right on top there. Mark McGwire starting things off there. Shout out to Leaf Fan Down Under, who I know is a big Mark McGwire fan. If you don't have that one, let me know, my friend, and I'll be happy to send it off to you. I guess I'll put the All-Stars in their own stack. John Cerruti starts us off. Mickey Hatcher. Go through these pretty quickly. Bobby Bonilla there. That's pretty nice. Terry Kennedy. Cal Ripken, there we are. Certainly hang on to that one. Jeff Reardon, great pitcher for the Twins. Rob Dibble, one of the Nasty Boys, the self-proclaimed Nasty Boys. Junior Ortiz, Paul O'Neill, Shane Raleigh, Billy Ripken. We got both the Ripken brothers in the same pack. What are the odds of that? I tell you, that is crazy. Tim Laudner, Juan Samuel, Dave Henderson, there. And Steve Rosenberg, who I don't remember. He sounds like he was the lawyer for the White Sox rather than the pitcher for the White Sox. I really don't remember that guy. Pete Incavilla, of course, slugger for the Texas Rangers there. Tony Fernandez, always liked him. Really good shortstop. Juan Berenguer. Dan Quisenberry, Hall of Famer there. Relief pitcher with the Cardinals, mostly with the Royals is what I remember Quisenberry doing. But the underhanded delivery, always enjoy that. Timmy Jones and Dave Bergman. Sean Dunston was a hot prospect for a while there. Bobby Ojeda. John Wathen, looking delighted to be the manager of the Kansas City Royals, hanging around the batting cage, cracking jokes. Don Robinson, Brett Saberhagen, speaking of the Royals, Gary Wayne, Bob Boone with the Royals. Wow, that's weird too. I don't remember Bob Boone being with the Royals. I remember him being, of course, with the Phillies and playing the Orioles in the World Series, and very good catcher, but I don't remember him being with the Royals. Steve Balboni, big slugger for the Yankees, Kevin Seitzer, and Billy Hatcher. And there's another Oriole, Jeff Ballard, All-Star. How did Jeff Ballard become an All-Star? I don't remember that. He was a good pitcher, but All-Star, Jose Canseco, Drew Hall, and Rich Thompson, Tim Drummond, Tommy Helms, the manager of the Reds at that point in time, Craig Biggio, and Steve Davis, Bob Kipper, record breaker card. I believe that's Ricky Henderson, though they weirdly don't have his name on the front of the card. But I'm pretty confident that's who that is. What record did he break? Henderson connects for the 40th time. His 40th career leadoff home run. That's a pretty cool record, actually. Kyle Abbott. I bet nobody's broken that record. You guys can look it up, but I'm going to guess nobody's broken that record. Ricky Henderson, one of the things, he was maybe one of the greatest leadoff hitters in all of baseball, but that's a record I don't think anybody will have broken. And there's Frank Thomas, and he follows Mike Greenwell. That is weird. That is really weird. Usually, and every time I see this card revealed, he follows Curt Schilling. And there he followed Mike Greenwell. That I was not prepared for that. So I could not do the slow reveal or anything like that because there was no Curt Schilling in front of him. So now I got to look for Schilling and Mike Greenwell. That is bizarre. It is obviously not a no-name Frank Thomas, but it is a Frank Thomas rookie, and it is pack fresh. So that's certainly going in the Wolf layer. No complaint there. Terry Leach and another Cal Ripken. All right, that's the All-Star Cal Ripken. Pretty sure I have that one, but I'll put it there just the same. Derek Lilyquist. And then Dave Schmidt, another Oriole for us there. Jeff Treadway, Ozzie Guillen, good shortstop. Dennis Oil Can Boyd, Wes Gardner, Jim Corsi, and Tim Wallach. We got Greg Maddux, and that's an early Greg Maddux card. That's a pretty sweet card there. Hall of Famer, of course. Still with the Cubbies on that card. Gary Thurman. And Dave Parker, the Cobra, with the Athletics. Parker, of course, had his, probably I would think his best years are with Pittsburgh, but he did do well with the Athletics as well. Joe Price, Dave Dravecki, Tim Belcher, some good pitchers coming along here all together. And Greg Olson, another good one there. John Cangelosi and Bob Dernier. Ron Gant, good slugger for the Braves. Darren Dalton and Jay Buhner. Nice Mariners card there. Kevin Brown. Frank Robinson, another Hall of Famer for us there. Another Oriole. He managed the Orioles for a little while and did pretty well. He was a good manager, not just with the Orioles. He managed several teams and was a pretty good guy. Edgar Martinez. Nice to see that one. There's Mark Williamson, looking like he was photographed against the same background as Curt Schilling. They both are photographed sort of that eerie, dark background as though they've both just gotten out of their coffins. Paul Kilgus and Bob Walk, Craig McMurtry, Scott Bales, Mike Devereaux, good center fielder for the Orioles for a little while, fast base runner as well, Don Paul, Bill Long, Jeff Musselman, and a checklist card. We love those. Eric Anthony, future star, Felix Jose, and Darren Jackson, Lance Johnson, Stan Belinda, Danny Cox, Ryan Sandberg, send that over to Average Joe, Chris Spire, and Kevin Mitchell. We got Bill Kruger there, and Andy Bennis, and Doug Strange, looking as though he sees something rather strange off to his right. Your left, his right. All right, there we go. So we did get a Frank Thomas out of there, and a checklist card, of course. But the Frank Thomas was not a no-name. That does not dissuade me from continuing in my pursuit of a no-name, though. I still think we have a possibility of getting one, and we're going to try some more of these rack packs and see how we do. So if we pull that no-name Frank Thomas yet, I don't really know what the criteria is for pulling one, quite honestly. I don't know if if you get one, would that mean that all of the Frank Thomases in that particular box would then be no-name ones? Or would it mean instead that you would that would be the only Frank Thomas you would get in there. I don't know how often they would fall. If you could find a box that had one, would that give you better odds of finding another one in there? Or I don't really know how that works. Nobody really understands. So I struggle with this pad. It's like I've got some sort of senior arthritis here. Nobody really has any sort of reliable data on how they were sorted in and what caused them to end up in packs and anything like that. Nobody really knows. And as I said, people say that they're more prevalent in cello packs and in rack packs, but I don't know if that's true or not. Rob Deere, do you know if that's true? I don't think Rob Deere knows either. Rob Deere there with the Brewers, the team that he probably spent most of his time with, but he did go elsewhere later in his career. Dave Martinez and Steve Finley, another Orioles player there. Sid Bream, Jesse Orozco, looking like he is studying intently whatever is going on the field there. Ed Whitted. Ed Whitted? I don't remember this guy at all. Having a total alternate reality moment here. I do not remember this card or this player, even a little bit. Very strange. Gary Templeton, I remember. He was a really good shortstop. Don Asse and Steve Buechel, John Dobson, and Tony La Russa. Of course, is Tony La Russa in the Hall? I think he is a Hall of Fame manager. He should be. Lloyd McClendon, Steve Jeltz, Brian Clutterbuck, and Walt Terrell. And we got our all-star card of Bo Jackson. That's a pretty sweet card. That's a really nice card. It is a little off-center, but other than that, pretty nice find there. I like that one. Flip it over and see Doug Drabeck ready to deliver the pitch. Get that back in focus. We can continue on through here. Here we go. Omar Vizquel and Eddie Murray, Hall of Famer there with the Dodgers, and Ken Griffey Jr. is a pretty sweet card there. Two nice cards back-to-back. Craig Worthington, who was a hot prospect back in the day. There is his Gold Cup card with the Orioles. He didn't really pan out, unfortunately. Dickie Thon and Joe Bover, Dave Gallagher, Tony Gwynn, another nice Hall of Famer there. Marty Barrett, Tom Herr, Pat Clements, and Walt Weiss. Got Hubie Brooks and Luis Quinones. And what we have here, we've got to flip this again. Dale Sveum. Dale Sveum, a favorite of Driller and Squish. Whenever they get one of his cards, they have kind of mini contest about how you should pronounce his name. I'm not going to get involved in that, but you can surely check out their channel. They do a lot of hunts for the no-name Frank Thomas, and so they come across Dale Sveum's card quite often, and it's always very entertaining. And there's A. Bartlett Giamatti. I like that card too. He's not a Hall of Famer, but I do like him. Kirby Puckett, All-Star right after that. Nothing wrong with that. Steve Cummings, Julio Franco, All-Star, and Sammy Sosa. I believe Average Joe collects him as well, so I'll toss that over there. If he doesn't, then I know Leander Jimenez will be happy to get a Sammy Sosa card. He always seems to be. Bo Allred looking delighted. Somebody just told Bo Allred a joke, perhaps. Matt Young, Ruben Sierra, Chris Quinn, and Jeff Russell. Gary Reedus, who was a Red for a long time. There he is with the Pirates. Alex Sanchez, Future Star, and Jason Grimsley. Paul Ossenmacher, and another all-star card here, Kevin Mitchell with the Giants. Set that one aside maybe for Goody G. I believe he is a big Giants fan, if I'm remembering right. Rick Cerrone was a Blue Jay for a long time. Very good catcher. Ryan Sandberg, there's the regular card. We got his all-star earlier. Steve Lake doing the high kick in his audition for the Rockettes production of Annie Get Your Catcher's Mitt. Harold Reynolds and Jack McKeon, manager card there. He looks very skeptical. Rick Shue, Mark Davis, Charlie O'Brien, Jay Tibbs, Dwight Smith, Lance McCullers, Brian Harper, Terry Mulholland, Todd Benzinger, Spike Owen looking thrilled. Man, he must be in on that same joke. Look at Spike Owen. He's just kicking back. Kelly Gruber, and Ken Hill is disgusted. He's had it. Man, Ken Hill is just totally disgusted. This is what the major leagues are like, he's thinking. This is not what I expected. Bip Roberts, Mike Krukow, good announcer these days, Jeff Montgomery, Joe McGrain, Mickey Sasser, and Gerald Perry, Corey Snyder, Randy Kutcher, and Denny Walling, Mike Brumley, Ruben Sierra again, Tom Candiotti, Tony Fosas, and Tony Gwynn, All-Star. There we go. Ken Griffey Sr. Got Ken Griffey Jr. already. Brett Saberhagen, All-Star. Bedrosian, Juden, and Cal Ripken. Again, they don't put the names on the front of these record breaker cards, which I don't think... I think there should be a rule about that. You should always have the player's name on the front of the card regardless of what is going on with that card. You got to find a way to fit it in. Cal Ripken Jr. record breaker. His record was for 20 home runs for the 8th straight season. feel like that record has probably been broken at this point. Wade Boggs, All-Star, nice card there. Jerome Walton, Gold Cup card. Joe McGrain. Joe McGrain was an All-Star? Wow, that is questionable. I don't remember that. Dan Murphy, another checklist card. We love those. Todd Froworth and Phil Stevenson, Charlie Liebrandt, and Francisco Cabrera with perhaps the worst airbrush job I have ever seen on a player's hat on a card. I mean, that doesn't even look remotely realistic. I wonder who Cabrera played with before the Braves. It looks like it was probably a Blue Jays hat or a minor league hat. He had a brief stint with the Blue Jays before that. Is a terrible, terrible Photoshop job that they did there. We got two more packs, and I think that's what I'm going to call it. These two packs will be the last rack packs that we open today, because we've got quite a stack of cards going already, and I have no doubt, witty though I may be, you guys are probably sick of seeing 1990 tops get opened everywhere you turn. But I enjoy it, and I hope that we pull some good stuff out of here. Of course, the Frank Thomas no name eludes us still, but it could be in one of these rack packs. I'm doing just absolutely mauling these things. I mean, you might as well have, somebody who doesn't even have opposable thumbs opening these. Not that people don't have that, but I could get, some sort of animal in here. A real wolf, perhaps, could do a neater job of opening these packs than I am. And it's like, you get to some of these, and I don't even know how you're supposed to get into these. They're so, oh man, these are ridiculous. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I might have to get the scissors out. It seems, all right, there we go. That's what we want. Get that stripe down the middle there. They're much easier to get out once you do that. All right, here we go. Last cell, and now we got our big stack of cards for us to go through. Should have a couple more All-Star cards in here, the special insert All-Stars. There's the first one, Kirby Puckett. That's a really pretty card. Pretty sure I have that one too. Let's get it in focus and you guys can really enjoy it a lot more. Yeah, can we do that? Can we get, there it is, Kirby Puckett. Pretty card. Really like that one actually, and that's nicely centered too. A lot of these All-Star insert cards are not always so nicely centered. That's a really good example of that card. I'll keep that one. Rick Leach and Kevin Mitchell, we got his All-Star card over there. I'll match the pair right there. Jerry Brown, not the former governor of California, but the outfielder for the Indians. We got a Rock Raines. Always like to get Tim Raines cards. Jeff Kunkel. Doug Drabek again. We've seen him and Omar Vizquel. There's Eddie Murray for the second time. That means Ken Griffey Jr. is right behind, and there indeed he is. Craig Worthington, we know about him, and Dickie Thon as well. Baver, Gallagher, and Tony Gwynn. Nice to see him again. Marty Barrett and Gene Harris. There is Kurt Schilling. There he is. That is usually the card that says we're going to get a Frank Thomas, but instead we got a Rangers behind it. What is going on with these rack packs? Kurt Schilling is always the herald for Frank Thomas in 1990 tops. It's like the Silver Surfer comes and Galactus is not far behind. You see Kurt Schilling, Frank Thomas is not far behind, but not in these rack packs. This is bizarre. My whole world has been changed. This is, I'm going to sit back and take a moment here. This is pretty crazy. So anyway, there's Kurt Schilling and Gino Petralli behind him. I have never seen that before. That is weird. I don't know what's going on here. The reality has been upset today by these weird card assortments we've got going on here. BJ Surhoff there, and Brooke Jacoby, Randy Velarde looking like he is posing for his dating app picture there. Randy Velarde. Hello, ladies. I play professional baseball. My name's Randy, and yes, I am Randy. All right, there we go. Joe Carter. I'm sure you guys enjoyed that diversion. Pat Perry, Randy St. Clair, and Whitey Herzog with the chaw of tobacco in the cheek as always. Keith Miller and Bert Blyleven, Hall of Famer there. Jeff Ballard, Lance Blankenship. We got Jim Presley, no relation to Elvis. Scott Sanderson, Mark Davidson, and Scott Lusader. Juan Bell looking very suspicious. What am I doing in a Baltimore uniform? I didn't think I was with the Orioles. Steve Searcy and Carlos Quintana. Sandy Koufax turned back the clock. Pretty sweet card there. We got Tim Leary and Ken Phelps. Ken Phelps, he doesn't look like a baseball player to me. He looks like, I don't know, like the trainer or the groundskeeper or something. What's up with that? Ken Phelps? I don't remember that card. I feel like I must have woken up in a separate reality this morning. You guys will have to fill me in on what the what the rules are for this reality, because I'm not remembering some things that are going on here. Kurt Ford and Nolan Ryan, always happy to get one of those. That's the they had a 500, or I'm sorry, a 5,000 subset for Nolan Ryan, where they showed him in all his different uniforms from throughout the years. And there he is with the Mets. We'll certainly put that in the Wolf lair. Mookie Wilson with the Blue Jays. I remember Mookie with the Mets. I don't remember with the Blue Jays so well. Matt Clary, Floyd Bannister, Mike Boddicker with the Red Sox, came up with the Orioles and was quite a good pitcher throughout most of his career, honestly. Chris Gwynn, again, we've seen him. And Jeff Russell, questionable all-star. Gary Redus, Alex Sanchez, future star. Jason Grimsley, Paul Ossenmacher, Bill Long, Jeff Musselman, another checklist card. Eric Anthony, Jim Clancy. That's right, Jim. Just put your hand on your hip and you let those guys know what you think. Tom O'Malley, Barry Jones, George Cannell, Dave Clark, Kelly Downs, Mike Scholer, Tracy Jones, Chili Davis, Cecilio Guante, and a bunch of other players who are not Frank Thomas. That's what I'm saying here. That's just speeding it up here. Oh, we got another all-star card here. Howard Johnson. I guess I'll put that in the stack. Dave Stewart, Gary Carter, Hall of Famer. Like that one. Fernando. That's a nice one. John Moses, Tony Armas, Salvin Davis, Mike Dyer, and a bunch of other players. Dale Murphy, good player, of course. Jose Lind. And we finish off with Brett Butler squaring for the bunt. Whew. All right. No name Frank Thomas, though we did get a Frank Thomas rookie. I had a lot of fun with that. I hope you guys did too. I'll see you back here tomorrow for Dorking with Dice on Ice. And as always, happy collecting.